unfolds, with alike indignity, in fair Verona where this tragic scene, from ancient grudge break to new mean, where civil blood makes civil hands unclean. From forth the fatal loins of these two foes, a pair of star-crossed lovers take their life, where misadventured pietist overthrows doth their death bury their parents in strife. The fearful passage of their death-marked love and the continuance of their parents' rage, which but their children's end naught could remove, is now the 2 hours' report on our stage, the which, if you with patient ears attend, what here shall miss, our toil shall strive to mend.
Good morrow, cousin.
Young.
When you struck 9.
Ay me. Sad hours seem long.
They do. What sadness lengthens Romeo's hours?
Not having that which having makes them short.
And love?
Out for favor where I am in love.
And alas that love so gentle in his view should be so tyrannous and rough in proof.
Oh, serious lightness. Serious vanity. Us of well-seeming forms. Feather of lead, bright smoke, cold fire, sick health, still waking sleep. That is not what it is. This love feel I that feel no love in this. What? Dost thou not laugh?
No, cuz, I rather weep.
Good heart.
At thy good heart's oppression.
Why, such is love's transgression. Griefs of mine own lie heavy in my breast, which thou wilt propagate to have it pressed with more of thine. This love that thou hast shown doth add more grief to too much of mine own. A smoke made with the fume of sighs, being purged, a fire sparkling in lovers' eyes, being vexed, a sea nourished with loving tears. What is it else? A madness most all in a preserving sweet? Farewell, my cuz.
Leave me so. You do me wrong.
Tut, I have lost myself. This is not Romeo. He's some other where.
Tell me in sadness, who is that you love?
Groan. Why no, a sick man in sadness makes his will. A word ill urged to one that is so ill. In sadness, cousin, I do love a woman. Rosaline is all the thought of this man.
You ruled by me. Forget to think of her.
Oh, teach me how I should forget to think.
By giving liberty unto thine eyes more than the exquisite Rosaline, examine other beauties.
To call hers exquisite and question more. These happy masks that kiss fair ladies' brows being black, puts us in mind they hide the fair. He that is struck and blind cannot forget the precious treasure of his eyesight lost. Show me a mistress that is passing fair. What doth her beauty serve but as a note where I may read who passing that passing fair? Farewell, thou canst not teach me to forget.
I'll pay thy doctrine or else die in debt.
Ay, Sarah. Seek these out. Our contact list. Find the persons whose names are written there. And to them say good zooming and welcome on their pleasure. Stay.
Find them out whose names are written here. It is written in swooping cursive hand, but I am sent to write those persons whose names are here writ, and can never find what names the writing person here hath writ. I must have learned in good time.
Tut, man. One fire burns that another's burning. One pain is lessened with another's anguish. Turn giddy and be helped by backwards turning. When desperate grief cures with another's languish. Take thou arts anew in perfection to thy eye, and the rank poison of the old will die. Why, Romeo, art thou mad?
Not mad, but bound more than a madman is. Shut up in a prison, kept without any food, whipped and tormented and... Good Ian? Good fellow?
Good even. I pray, sir. Can you read?
Mine own fortune and my own misery.
Perhaps you've learned it without book. But I pray, can you read cursive writing?
If I know the letters and the language.
You say honestly. Rest you merry.
Stay, fellow, I can read. Okay, Signor Martino and his wife and daughters, County Anselme and his beauteous sisters, the lady widow of Vertuvio, Signor Placentio and his lovely nieces, Mercutio and his brother Valentine, mine uncle Capulet, his wife and daughters, my fair niece Rosaline, and Livia, Signor Valentio and his cousin Tybalt, Lucio and the lively Helena. A fair assembly. Whither should they come? Whither? To supper?
To our house.
Whose house?
My boss's.
Indeed, I should have asked thee that before.
Now I'll tell you without asking. I work for the great rich Capulet. And, if you be not of the house of Montagues, I pray, come and crush a cup of wine. Rest you merry.
At the same celebration of Capulet, sups the fair Rosaline whom thou so loves, with all the admired beauties of Verona. Go thither, and with unattainted eye, compare her face with some that I shall show, and I will make thee think thy swan a crow.
When the devout religion of mine eye maintains such falsehood, then turn tears to fire. And those who, often drowned, could never die, transparent heretics, be burnt for liars. One fairer than my love? The all-seeing sun never saw her match since first the world begun.
Tut, you saw her fair and none else being by, herself poised with herself in either eye. But in that crystal scale let there be weighed your lady's love against some other maid, that I'll show you shining at this feast, and she shall scan show well that now seems best.
I'll go along, no such sight to be shown, but to rejoice in splendor of mine own.
Nay, gentle Romeo! We must have you dance!
Not I, believe me. You have dancing shoes with nimble soles. I have a soul of lead, so stakes me to the ground I cannot move.
You are a lever! Burrow Cupid's wings and to soar with them above a common bound.
I am too sore impierced with his shaft, and so bound I cannot bound a pitch above dull woe. Under love's heavy burden do I sink.
And a sink in it should you burden love. Too great oppression for a tender thing.
Love, a tender thing? It is too rough, too rude, too boisterous, and it pricks like a thorn.
If love be rough with you, be rough with love. Prick love for pricking, and you beat love down. Give me a case of my visage. Oh, a visor for a visor. What curious eye doth coat deformities? Here are the beetle brows shall blush for me.
not gonna enter no sooner in, but every man betakes him to his legs.
I mean, sir, in delay, we waste our lights in vain. Lights by day, but take our good meaning, for our judgment sits 5 times in that ear, once in our 5 wits.
And we mean well in going to this mask, but 'tis no wit to go.
Why may one ask?
I dreamt a dream tonight.
So did I.
Well, what was yours?
That dreamers often lie.
That is sleep while they do dream things true.
Oh! The Thespian Queen Mab have been with you. She is the fairy's midwife, and she comes in no shade bigger than an agate stone on the forefinger of an alderman, drawn with little team of a Tony over men's noses as they lie asleep. Her wagon spokes made of long spinner's legs, the cover of the wings of grasshoppers, who tracest of the smaller spider web. Her whip of the cricket's bone, the lash of film. Her wagoner, a small gray-coated knot, not half so thin as a round little worm, but pricked from the lazy finger of a maid. Her chariot is an empty hazelnut, made by the Jordan Squirrel or Old Grub, but time out of mind, these fairies coachmakers. And through lovers' brains she gallops nights by nights, and through lovers' brains, my friend, they dream. They dream of love. They dream of ledge which once untangled much misfortune bodes. This is the hag when maids lie on their backs that presses them first to bear, making them women of good carriage. This is she!
Peace, peace. Thou talkest of nothing.
True, I talk of dreams, which are the children of an idle brain, who woos, and from the old bosom of the north, dropping from the dew, dropping south.
Roses Marcel, supper is done and we shall come too late.
I fear too early, for my mind misgives some consequence, yet hanging in the stars shall begin his bitter date and expire the term of despised life closed in my breast by some vile forfeit of untimely death. But he that hath the steerage of my course, direct my sail. On, lusty gentlemen!
Gentlemen, thank you for coming. Ladies that have their toes unplagued with corn will walk about with you now. My mistresses, which of you will now deny to dance? She that makes dainty, she, I'll swear, hath corns. Am I to come near you now? Welcome, gentlemen. I have seen that I could wear a visor and tell a whispering tale into a woman's ear, such as would please. 'Tis gone, 'tis gone, 'tis gone. Welcome, gentlemen. Come, good TJ, play.
Ladies, this whose reply doth enrich my chicken toast this lonely night. She doth teach the torches to burn bright. Since she hangs upon the cheek of night as a rich jewel in the eagle of fear. Beauty too rich for use, for earth too dear. So shows a snowy dove drooping with crows as yonder lady o'er her fellow shows. Measure done, I'll watch her place of stand, and, to hers, make blessed my rude hands. My heart love till now. Forswear at sight, for I never saw true beauty till this night.
This prize poet should be a Montague, come hither covered with an antic face, to flare and scorn at our solemnity, not by the stock and honor of my kin, striking that I hope not a sin.
How kinsman, so sorry, so.
Uncle, this is a Montague, our foe, a villain hither from these fights to scorn our solemnity this night.
Young Romeo, is it?
'Tis he, that villain Romeo.
Patience, dear cause. He bears himself like a portly gentleman. And to say the truth, Verona brags of him to be a virtuous and well-governed youth. I would not, for all the wealth of this town, whom prepared me here in my house. It is my will, the which of thou respects. Off these frowns. If you ever see me semblance fair peace.
Give me such a villain as a guest. I'll not endure it.
He shall be endured. What a good man, boy. I say he shall go too. Am I the master here, or you go too? I shall mend my soul, you'll make a mutiny among my guests. You'll set a cock-a-hoop. You'll be the man.
Why, Uncle, 'tis a shame.
Go too! You're a saucy boy, is it so indeed? This trick may chances scathe you. I know what he must contrary. Mary, 'tis time. Well said, my hearts. You are a pringcox. Go, be quiet, or more lights. I'll make you quiet. What cheer me, my hearts?
Patience perforce with their willful caller meeting makes my flesh tremble in their different greeting. I will withdraw, but this intrusion shall, now seeming sweet, convert to a bitter scowl.
I profane with my unworthiest thumbs this holy shrine. The gentle sin is this: my lips two blushing pilgrims, ready stand to smooth that rough touch with a tender kiss.
Good pilgrim, you do wrong your thumbs too much, which mannerly devotion shows in this. For saints have thumbs that pilgrims supposed to touch, and text to text is Holy Palmer's kiss.
Have not saints' lips and holy palmers too?
Aye, pilgrim, lips that they must use in prayer.
Then move not, while my post's effect I take. Thus, from my text reply, my sin is purged.
Then have my eyes the sin that they have took.
Sin from my text? O trespass sweetly urged, give me my sin again.
You kissed by the book. Gotta go. Father craves a word with me.
What's her father? Her father is the master of the house. Is she Capulet?
Away, be gone, sport is at the best.
Aye, so I fear. Where is my unrest?
Hey, honest gentlemen, prepare not to be gone. We have a trifling foolish banquet towards... Is it being so? Why then, I thank you, gentlemen, I thank you. Good night. Sarah, I will say it waxes late. I'll do my best.
Pray, cousin, what is the young gentleman that he is now going off the Zoom?
Pray that, I think the young Romeo.
If he be dead or living, my bed is to be like my grave. His name is Romeo and a Montague, the only son of our great enemy. My only love sprung from my only hate, too early seen unknown, and known too late. Prodigious birth it is to me that I must love a loathed enemy.
Can I go go forward when my heart is here? Turn back, dull earth, and find thy center out. But soft, what light through yonder screen doth break? It is the east, and Juliet is the sun. Arise, fair sun, and kill the envious moon, who is already sick and pale with grief that thou her maid art far more fair than she. Be not her maid, since she is envious. Her vestal livery is but sick and green, and none but fools do wear it. Cast it off. It is my lady. Oh, it is my love. Oh, that she knew she were. She speaks, yet she says nothing. What of that? Her eye discourses. I will answer it. I am too bold. 'Tis not to me she speaks. Two of the fairest stars in all the heaven, having some business, do entreat her eyes to twinkle in their spheres till they return. What if her eyes were there? They, in her head. The brightness of her cheek would shame those stars as daylight doth the lamp. I and you would through the airy region stream so bright that birds would sing and think it were not night. Think how she leans her cheek upon her hand. Oh, that I were of the love upon that hand, that I may touch that cheek. She speaks. Oh, speak again, bright angel, for thou art as glorious to this night, being over my head as a winged messenger of heaven to the white, upturned, wondering eyes of mortals that fall back to gaze on him when he bestrides the lazy, puffing clouds and sails upon the bosom of the air.
Oh, Romeo, wherefore art thou Romeo? Deny thy father and refuse thy name. For if thou wilt not, hast sworn by my love, and thou no longer be
Shall I wait for more, or shall I speak of this?
What thy name that is my enemy? How art thou self, though not a Montague? What's Montague? Nor hands, nor foot, nor arm, nor face. Is some other name belonging to man? What's in a name? That which we call a rose by any other name and smell just as sweet. So Romeo would not he, Romeo, call, retain that dear perfection which he owes. Romeo, doff thy name, or thy name which is no part of thyself. Always.
I take thee at thy word. Call me but love, and I'll be new baptized. Henceforth, I never will be one.
What man art thou that dost be screened in the night, so stumblest on my counsel?
Oh, by name I know not how to tell thee who I am. My name, dear saint, is hateful to myself because it is an enemy to thee. Had I it written, I would tear the word.
My ears have not yet drunk 100 words of thy tongue's uttering, yet I know the sound. Art thou not Romeo, and a Montague?
Neither, fair maid, if either thee dislike.
If thou dost love, pronounce it faithfully. Or, if thou thinkest I'm too quickly won, I'll frown and be perverse and say thee nay. So thou wilt woo, but else not for the world. In truth, fair Montague, I am too fond, and therefore thou may think my behavior light. But trust me, fair gentleman, I will prove more coin to be strange. I should have been more strange, I must confess, but that thou overheardest ere I were my true love's passion. Therefore pardon me, and not impute this yielding to light love, that the dark night hath so discovered.
Lady, by yonder blessed moon, I vow that with tips of silver...
Bear not by the moon, the inconstant moon that ever changes in her monthly orb, else thou love would prove likewise variable.
What shall I swear by?
Do not swear at all. Or, if thou must, swear by thy gracious self, and I'll believe thee.
If my heart's dear love...
Do not swear at all. Although I join thee, I have no joy in this contract tonight. It is too rash, too unadvised, too sudden, too like the lightning, which ceased to be ere one can say, lightens. This bud of love, by summer's ripening breath, may prove to be a beauteous flower when next we meet. Good night. Good night. As sweet repose and rest come to thy heart as that within my breast.
Wilt thou leave me so unsatisfied?
What satisfaction canst thou have tonight?
The exchange of thy love's faithful vow for mine.
I gave thee mine before thou didst request it, and yet I would to give again.
Wouldst thou withdraw it? For what purpose, love?
To give it again. My bounty is as boundless as the sea, my love as deep. The more I give to thee, the more I have, and both are infinite.
Juliet.
I hear some noise within. Dear love, adieu. Anon, father! Sweet Montague, be true. Stay but a little. I will come again.
Blessed, blessed night. I am feared, being in night, that this is all a dream. Too flattering sweet to be substantial.
3 words, dear Romeo, and good night indeed. If thou bent of love be honorable, thou purpose study, send me word tomorrow, and at thou foot I'll lay and follow my love throughout the world.
Now, Juliet.
I come, anon. But if thou meanest not well, I do beseech thee to end thy strife and leave me to my grief. Tomorrow I will come.
Go thrive my soul.
1,000 times good night.
1,000 times the worse to want thy light. Love goes towards love like schoolboys from their books. But love from love towards school with heavy looks. Going.
Hist, Romeo, hist! Oh, for a falconer's voice to lure this toppled gentle back again. Bondage is hoarse and may not speak aloud, else I would tear the gate where echo lies, and make her airy tongue more hoarse than mine with repetition of my Romeo.
It's my soul that calls upon my name. How silver sweet tongues by lover's night, like softest music to attending ears.
Romeo,
My love?
what o'clock tomorrow shall I call to thee?
By the hour of 9.
I will not fail. 'Tis 20 year till then. I did forget why I have called thee back.
Let me stay on till thou remember it.
I shall forget, having thee stay on, how I love thy company.
And I'll still stay to have thee still forget, forgetting any contact but this one.
'Tis almost morning. I should have thee gone. Good night. Good night. Parting is such sweet sorrow that I shall say good night till it be morrow.
Sleep, dwell upon thine eyes, peace in thy breast. Would I were sleep and peace so sweet to rest. Hence will I to my ghostly reverence hope to crave, and my dear hap to tell.
Reverend.
Benedici, what early tongue so sweet saluteth me? Young son, it argues a distempered head so soon to bid good morrow to thy bed. Care keeps his watch in every old man's eye, and where care lodges, sleep will never lie. But where unbruised youth with unstuffed brain doth couch his limbs, there golden sleep doth reign. Therefore thy earliness doth me assure thou art abrowsed with some distemperature. Or, if not so, then here I hit it right. Our Romeo hath not been in bed tonight.
At last is true, the sweeter rest was mine.
God pardon sin. Wast thou with Rosaline?
Wait, Rosaline, my ghostly father, no. I forgot that name and that name's woe.
That's my good son. But where hast thou been then?
I'll tell thee ere thou asked me again. I've been feasting with mine enemy, where on a sudden one hath wounded me that's by me wounded. Both are remedies within thy help and holy physic lies. I bear no hatred, blessed man, for Io, my intercession likewise steads my foe.
Be plain, good son, and homely in thy drift. Riddling confession finds but riddling shrift.
And plainly know my heart's dear love is set on the fair daughter of rich Capulet. It's mine on hers, so hers is set on mine. And all combined, when and where and how we met, we wooed and made exchange of vow.
Holy Saint Francis, what a change is here! Is Rosaline, that thou didst love so dear, so soon forsaken? Young men's love then lies not truly in their hearts, but in their eyes. Jesu Maria, what a deal of brine hath washed thy sallow cheeks for Rosaline! How much salt water thrown away in waste, to season a love that of it doth not taste! The sun not yet thy sighs from heaven clears, thy old groans yet ringing in mine ancient ears. Lo, here upon thy cheek the stain doth sit of an old tear that is not washed off yet. If e'er thou wast thyself, and these woes thine, thou and these woes were all for Rosaline. And art thou changed? Pronounce the sentence then. Women may fall when there's no strength in men.
Chidest me oft for loving Rosaline.
For doting, not for loving, pupil mine.
And badest me bury love?
Not in a grave to lay one in, another out to have.
I pray thee chide me not. Her I love now, doth grace for grace and love for love allow. The other did not so.
Oh, she knew well thy love did read by rote that could not spell. But come, young waverer, come, go with me. In one respect I'll thy assistant be, for this alliance may so happy prove, to turn thy household's rancor to pure love.
Let us hence, I stand on sudden haste.
Wisely and slow. They stumble that run fast.
The clock struck 9 when I did send the text. In half an hour, there's been no return. Perchance, Signal cannot meet him. That's not so. Oh, this is lame. Love's heralds ought to be thoughts, which 10 times faster glide than the sun's beams over Loring Hill. Therefore hath nimble pinioned doves draw love, and therefore hath wind-swift Cupid wings. Now the sun is upon the highmost hill of the day's journey, and from the hour of 9 till 12 there be no text. Oh, it comes. Oh, good message. Oh Lord, why laggest thou now? I would thou connected in I thy news. The excuse that thou doth make in this delay is longer than the tale that thou doth excuse. Is my news good or bad? Answer to that. Say either it has stay the course. Let me be satisfied. Is thou good or bad? Sweet, sweet, sweet phone, tell me what says my love. Oh! Here does Romeo text. Have thou got leave to go to shrift today? I have.
Then hie you hence to Lord and Reverence's cell. Hie you to his office.
High to high fortune, honest phone, farewell.
Turn ahead. Here come the Capulets. By my heel, I care not.
Follow me close, for I will speak to them. Gentlemen, get in. A word with one of you.
And but one word with one of us. Couple it with something. Make it a word and a blow.
You shall find me apt enough for that, sir, and you will give me occasion.
Could you not take some occasion without giving?
Mercutio, thou consortest with Romeo.
Consort? What dost thou make us minstrels? And thou make minstrels of one of us, make to hear nothing but discord. Here's my fiddlestick. Here's the thing that shall make you dance. Sounds? Consort?
We talk here in the public haunts of men. Either withdraw into some private place or reason coldly of your grievances, or else depart. Here all eyes gaze on us.
Men's eyes will allow them to let them look and gaze. I will not budge for no man's pleasure eye.
Well, peace be with you, sir. Here comes my man.
But I'll be hanged, sir, if you will your livery. May I go before the field? There'll be your follower, your worship in that sense may call him man.
Romeo, the love I bear thee can afford no better term than this. Thou art a villain.
Tybalt, the reason that I have to love thee doth much excuse the appertaining rage to such a greeting. Villain am I none, therefore farewell. I see thou knowest me not.
Boy, this should not excuse the injuries that thou hast done to me. Therefore, turn and draw.
I do protest I never injured thee, but love thee better than thou canst devise, till thou shalt know the reason of my love. And so, name thy pleasure as dearly as my own. Be satisfied.
Oh, calm, dishonorable! Idle submission! Honest staccato carries it away! Tybalt, you rat-catcher, fight!
Well, what dost thou have with me?
Good king of cats, nothing but one of your 9 lives that I mean to make bold withal. And as you shall use me hereafter, try beat the rest of thee. Will you pluck your sword out of his pilcher? Make haste, lest mine be about yours, ere it be out.
Gentle Mercutio, put thy weapon up.
Come, sir, your passado.
Gentlemen, for shame, forbear this outbreak. Temple, Mercutio, the princess, righteously hath forbid her standing in Roman street. Hold, Tybalt, good Mercutio.
Tybalt, away! I am hurt. I am hurt.
Courage, man, the hurt cannot be much.
No, it is not so deep as a well, nor so wide as a church door, but 'tis enough. 'Twill so ask for you tomorrow, and you shall find me a grave man. I'm peppered. I want for this world. Oh, plague both your houses. Sounds a dog, a rat, a mouse, to scratch a man to death. A braggart, a rogue, a villain that fights by the book of arithmetic. And the devil came in between us. I was hurt under your arm. They have made worms meat of me. I have it. It's soundly too.
Oh, Romeo. Romeo. Brave Mercutio is dead. 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 The gallant spirit of the spire of the clouds.
which too untimely here did scorn the earth.
Since day's black fate on others must bend, but this but begins the woe others must end.
Here comes the furious Tybalt back again.
Rise in triumph in Mercutio's flame. Away to heaven, respective lenity, and fire and fury be thy conduct. Now, take the villain back again, that late thou gavest me. For Mercutio's soul, little wave of our heads, staying for thine to keep in company. Either thou, or I, or both must go with him.
That wretched boy that disconcerted here, shout with him hence!
They shall determine that.
Thither of a Tybalt slain, stand not amazed. The prince will duly death if thou art taken. Hence, be gone, away!
Fortune, fool!
What dost thou say?
Take the villain back again, that late thou gavest me. For Mercutio's soul, little wave of our heads, staying for thine to keep in company. Either thou, or I, or both must go with him.
That wretched boy that disconcerted here, shout with him hence!
They shall determine that.
Thither of a Tybalt slain, stand not amazed. The prince will doomly death if thou art taken. Hence, be gone, away!
Fortune, fool!
What dost thou say?
Romeo, that slew thy kinsman, brave Mercutio.
Cousin, oh my brother's child. Prince, cousin, justice. All the blood of my kinsman has been spilled. Prince, if thou art true, for blood of ours, shed the blood of Montague.
Benvolio, who are the vile beginners of this fray?
Look here, slain, Romeo's hand did slay.
Of Tybalt deaf to peace, but that he tilled a piercing steel at bold Mercutio's breast, who, all as hot, turns deadly point to point, and with a martial scorn, with one hand beats, cold at the side, and with the other sends it back to Tybalt, whose dexterity retorts it. Romeo, he cries aloud, "Hold, friends, friends part!" And then, swifter than his tongue, his agile arm beats down their fatal points, and twixt them rushes, underneath whose arm an envious thrust from Tybalt hit the life of stout Mercutio, and then Tybalt fled. But by and by comes back to Romeo, who had but newly entertained revenge. And to it they go like lightning, and for here I could part with stout Tybalt slain. And as he fell, did Romeo turn and fly.
He is a kinsman to the Montague. Affectation makes him false. He speaks not true. I beg for justice, Prince, which thou must give. Romeo slew Tybalt. Romeo must not live.
Romeo slew him. He slew Mercutio. For now the price of his dead blood that oath?
Not Romeo, Prince. He was Mercutio's friend. His fall concludes both the law should end the life of Tybalt.
And for that offense, immediately we do exile him hence. I have an interest in your heart proceeding. My blood jaws doth lie a-bleeding. But our mercy with the stronger find. So you all repent the loss of mine. I'll be deaf to pleading and excuses. Nor tears nor prayers will purchase out abuses. When Romeo is found, that hour is his last.
Come night, come Romeo, oh come thou day and night, for thou lie upon the wings of night.
the face of heaven so fine that the world will fall in love with night and pay no worship to the garish sun. Oh, I've bought the mansions of love, but not yet possessed it. And though I am sold, not yet enjoyed. So tedious is this day as the night before some festival to an impatient child that hath new roads, but may not yet wear them. What news? Hath Romeo slain himself? Take now but I, and that fair vow.
I saw the wound. I saw it with mine eyes. God save the mark here on his manly breast. A piteous course of blood, piteous course. Pale, pale as ashes, all bedaubed in blood, all gore blood. I swooned at the sight.
Oh, break my heart! Poor bankrupt, break at once! To prison eyes ne'er look on liberty. Vile earth to earth, resign. And motion here, and thou and Romeo will play one heavy peer.
Tybalt, the best friend I ever had, oh courteous Tybalt, honest gentleman, that I should ever live to see thee dead.
What storm is this that blows so contrary? Is Romeo slaughtered? Is Tybalt dead? My dearest cousin and my dear love. Trumpet. Sounds the general doom. Who is living when these two are gone?
Tybalt is dead, and Romeo on the land. Romeo that hath killed him, he is vanished.
Oh God! Did Romeo's hand shed Tybalt's blood? Oh, sharply carved, hid, flowered face. Did ever a dragon keep so fair a cave? Just opposite to what thou justly seemest. Oh, damn it, seemed an honorable villain. What hadst thou to do in hell that thou didst bow the spiritedness of thee in a mortal paradise of such in flesh? Never a book contained so vile, so barely baffled. That deceit should dwell on such ugly gorgeous.
Romeo, come forth, thou fearful man. Affliction is enamored of thy parts, and thou art wedded to calamity.
Reverend, what news? What is the prince's doom? What sorrow craves acquaintance at my hand that I yet know not?
Two familiars, my dear son, with such sour company, I bring thee tidings of the prince's doom.
What less than doomsday is the prince's doom?
A gentler judgment vanished from his lips. Not body's death, but body's exilement.
Exilement. Be merciful, say death, for exile hath more terror in his look, much more than death. Do not say exilement.
Here from Verona art thou exiled. Wide.
Is no world without Verona walls, but purgatory, torture, hell itself. Hence, exiled is exiled from the world, and world's exile is death. Then exiled is death's mistermed, calling death with a golden axe, and smilest upon the stroke that murders me.
Oh, deadly sin. Oh, rude unthankfulness. Thy fault, our law calls death. But the kind prince, taking thy part, hath thrust aside the law, and turned that blackward death to exilement. This is dear mercy, and thou seest it not.
Is torture, not mercy. Heaven is here, where Juliet lives. And every cat and dog and little mouse, every unworthy thing may live here in heaven and may look on her, but Romeo may not. More validity, more honorable state, more courtship lives in carrion flies than Romeo. They may seize on the white wonder of the upturned dear Juliet's hand and steal a mortal blessing from her lips, who, even in pure and vestal modesty, still blush as thinking their own kisses sin. But Romeo may not. He is exiled. Flies may do this, but I from this must fly. They are free men, but I am exiled. And sayest thou yet that exile is not death? Hadst thou no poison mixed, no sharp ground knife, no sudden mean of death, though never so mean? But exiled to kill me? Exiled. Oh, Reverend the damned use that word in hell. Howling attends it. How hast the heart, being a divine, a ghostly confessor, a sin absolver, and my friend professed to mangle me with that word, exiled?
Thou fond madman, hear me a little speak.
Thou wilt speak again of exilement.
I'll give thee armor to keep off that word. Adversity's sweet milk, philosophy, to comfort thee, though thou art exiled.
Yet exiled. Hang up philosophy, unless philosophy can make a Juliet, displant a town, reverse a prince's doom, it helps not. It prevails not. Talk no more.
Oh, then I see that madmen have no ears.
How can they when that wise men have no eyes?
Let me dispute with thee of thy estate.
Thou canst not speak of thou that dost not feel. Wert thou as young as I, Juliet thy love, an hour but known love, Tybalt murdered, dolting like me, and like me exiled, then mightst thou speak. Then mightst thou tear thy hair and fall upon the ground as I do now, taking the measure of an unmade grave as if my name, shot from the deadly level of a gun, did murder her. Oh, tell me, Reverend, tell me, in what vile part of this anatomy doth my name lodge? Tell me that I may sack the hateful mansion.
Hold thy desperate hand. Art thou a man? Thy form cries out thou art. Thy tears are womanish. Thy wild acts denote the unreasonable fury of a beast. Unseemly woman in a seeming man, and ill-beseeming beast in seeming both. Thou hast amazed me. By my holy order, I thought thy disposition better tempered. Hast thou slain Tybalt? Wilt thou slay thyself, and slay thy lady that in thy life lives, by doing damned hate upon thyself? What? Rouse thee, man! Thy Juliet is alive, for whose dear sake thou wast but lately dead. There art thou happy. Tybalt would have slain thee, but thou slewest Tybalt. There art thou happy. The law, that threatened death, becomes thy friend and turns it to exile. There art thou happy. A pack of blessings light upon thy back. Happiness courts thee in her best array, but like a misbehaved and sullen wench, thou pouts upon thy fortune and thy love. Take heed, for such die miserable. Go, get thee to thy love, as was decreed. Attend her chamber hence, and comfort her. But look thou stay not till the watch be set, for then thou canst not pass to exile, where thou shalt live till we can find a time, beg pardon of the prince, and call thee back with 20,000 times more joy than thou wentst forth in lamentation. Go hence, good night, and here stands all your state. Every good hap to you that chances here. Give me promise. 'Tis late. Farewell. Good night.
Joy past joy calls out on me. Were a grief so brief to part with me. Farewell. herald of the morn, no nightingale. Look, love, what envious streaks do lace the severing clouds in yonder east. Night's candles are burnt out, and Jockenday stands tiptoe on the misty mountain tops. I must be gone in grief, or stay.
I hence be gone away. It is the lark that sings so out of tune, speaking harsh discords and unpleasing sharks. Now be gone. More light,
More light and light. More dark and dark our woes.
then wind out. Let day in and let light out. I must hear from thee every day and the hour. For in a minute there are many days. On this count I shall be much years ere I again hold my room. Oh! Thinkest thou we shall ever meet again?
Doubt it not. And all these woes shall serve for sweet discourses in the times to come. Adieu.
Fortune, all men call thee fickle. If thou art fickle, what dost thou to do with him that is renowned for faith? Fickle fortune, then I hope thou wilt not keep him long. Send him back. My father. Is he not down so late or up so early?
How now, Juliet?
Father, go away.
Evermore weeping for your cousin's death? Wilt thou wash him from his grave with thy tears? And if thou couldst not bring him back. Therefore have done. Some of grief shows much of love, but much of grief shows the want of it.
Yet let me weep for such a feeling lost.
When the sun sets, the earth's daughters will do, but for the sunset of my brother's son, it rains downright. Thou counterfeits a bark, a sea, a wind, for still thy eyes, which I may call the sea, do ebb and flow with tears. The bark, thy body is sailing in this salt flood. The winds, thy sighs, whose raging within without a sudden calm will be offset. Will offset thy tempest-tossed body. It will be better on the morrow.
No pity, but seeps into the bottom of my grief. Ancient damnation, almost wicked fiend! The more sin to wish me thus forsworn, or to despise my love with that same tongue that thou had praised him so many thousand times before. Oh, counselor, thou and my bosom shall henceforth be twain.
Juliet, I already know thy grief. It strains me past the compass of my wits.
If in thy wisdom thou can give no help, you would call my resolution wise, and with this knife I'll help it presently. Or my true heart with treacherous revolt turn to another, and this shall slay them both. Therefore, out of thy long experience time, give me some present counsel, or behold, twixt my extremes meet, and this bloody knife shall pay the umpire, arbitrating that with the commission of thy years in art can to no issue of true honor bring. Oh, be not so long to speak. I long to die, if when thou speak not of remedy.
Hold, daughter. I do spy a kind of hope which craves as desperate an execution as that is desperate which we would prevent. Thou hast the strength of will to slay thyself. Then is it likely thou wilt undertake a thing like death to meet again thy love, that copes with death himself to escape from here. And if thou darest, I'll give thee remedy.
I will do it without fear, to live again with him, my sweet love.
Hold then. Go home. Be merry. Patience. This I send to thee. Take thou this vial, being then in bed, and this distilling liquor drink thou off, when presently through all thy veins shall run a cold and drowsy humor. For no pulse shall keep his native progress, but surcease. No warmth, no breath shall testify thou livest. The roses in thy lips and cheeks shall fade to paly ashes. Thy eyes' windows fall like death when he shuts up the day of life. Each part, deprived of supple government, shall, stiff and stark and cold, appear like death. And in this borrowed likeness of shrunk death, thou shalt continue 42 hours, and then awake as from a pleasant sleep. Now, when thy father in the morning comes to rouse thee from thy bed, there art thou dead. Then, as is the manner of thy family, in thy best robes uncovered on the bier, thou shalt be borne to that same ancient vault where all the kindred of the Capulets lie. In the meantime, will Romeo by my email know our drift, and hither shall he come, and he and I will watch thy waking, and that very night will Romeo with thee hence to exile.
Bless you. Bless you. Tell me not of fear.
Hold, get you gone. Be strong and prosperous in this resolve. I'll send an email with speed to Romeo with instructions for this feat.
Love, give me strength. And strength shall help the full. Farewell, dear father. Back again to comfort me, Father! Should he do? This dismal scene of mine, act alone. Come, Violet. What if I work at all? How if when true. I awake before the time that Romeo comes to redeem me. There's a fearful point. Shall I not then be sleeping in a vault? To this foul mouth, no wholesome air breathes in, and there die strangled ere my Romeo come? Or, if I live, is it not very like the horrible conceit of death and night together, along with the terror of the place? As in the vault, an ancient receptacle where, for many hundreds of years, the bones of my dead ancestors lay packed. Where bloody temples yet but breathing earth lies festering in a shroud. Where, as they say, some hours of the night spirits resort. Is it not like that I so early waking with loathsome smells and shrieks like magic storm from the earth, that when living mortals hear them run mad? Shall I not be distraught, environed with all these hideous fears, and madly play with my forefathers' joints and pluck the painful tibble from their shroud, and with some ancient ancestor's bone, as with a club, dash out my desperate brains? Oh, methinks I see the ghost of my cousin seeking out Romeo, and he did slash him upon a rapier's point. Stay, Tybalt, stay. Oh, Romeo, Romeo, Romeo! Your strength. Drink thee.
Come, come, stir. The second cock hath crowed, the curfew bell has rung. 'Tis 3 o'clock. Daughter? What daughter? My lamb, sweetie. Fie, you slug of bed. Daughter! Her blood is still, and her joints look stiff. Those lips have long been separate. Death lies on her like an untimely frost upon the sweetest flower of all the field. A woeful day. A horrible time. Death has taken her heads to make me wail. And now ties on my tongue and won't let me speak. Child, my soul and not my child. My languid child is dead. And with my child, my choice of burying.
Peace. Oh, for shame. Confusion's cure lives not in these confusions. Heaven and yourself had part in this fair maid. Now heaven hath all, and all the better is it for the maid. Your part in her you could not keep from death. Now heaven keeps his part in eternal life.
I may trust the flattering truth of sleep. My dreams presage some joyful news at hand. My bosom's lord sits lightly in his throne, and all this day an unaccustomed spirit lifts me above the ground with cheerful thoughts. I dreamt my lady came and found me dead. Strange dream that gives a dead man leave to think, and breathed such life with kisses in my lips that I revived and was an emperor. How sweet is love itself as the possessed when but love's shadows are so rich in joy. News from Verona? How now, Benvolio? How doth my lady? Is my father well? How doth my Juliet? That I ask again, for nothing can be ill if she be well.
And she is well, and nothing can be ill. She sleeps where bodies kept nor deceased, and her immortal part with angels lives. I saw her lay low in a kindred's vault, and presently took post to tell it you. Oh, pardon me for bringing these ill news, since you did leave it for my office, cuz.
I deny you, stars. Thou knowest my lodging. Yet my money you hold, and hire an Uber. I will hence tonight.
I do beseech you, cuz. Have patience. You speak as if wild, and do import some misadventure.
Thou art deceived. Leave me, and do the thing I bid thee do. Hast thou no emails to me from the Reverend?
No, my good cuz.
No matter, get thee gone, and hire that Uber. I'll be with thee straight. Well, Juliet, I will lie with thee tonight. But see for means. Oh, mischief, thou art swift to enter in the thoughts of desperate men. I do remember seeing a dealer, and hereabouts he dwells. Meager were his looks. Noting this hovel to myself, I said, and if a man did need a poison now, whose sale is present death in this place, here lives a caitiff wretch would sell it him. Oh, this same thought did but forerun my need, and this same needy man must sell it me. As I remember, this should be the site. But ho, apothecary?
Who calls so loud?
Hold. There is 40 ducats. Let me have a dram of poison. Such soon speeding gear as will disperse itself through all the veins, that the life-weary taker may fall dead.
Such mortal drugs I have, but by the law is death to any he that utters.
The world is not thy friend, nor the world's law. The world affords no law to make thee rich. Then be not poor, but break it, and take this.
My poverty, but not my will, consents.
Pay thy poverty and not thy will.
Put this in any liquid thing you will, and drink it off. And if you have the strength of 20 men, it will dispatch you straight.
Here is thy gold. Worse poison to men's souls, doing more murder in this loathsome world than these poor compounds that thou mayest not sell. Sell thee poison, thou hast sold me none. Farewell, buy food, and get thyself in flesh. Come, cordial and not poison. Go with me to Juliet's grave, for there I must use thee.
My email did then fail to send to Romeo? and could not send, for here it is again. Unhappy fortune, by my brotherhood, the email was not nice, but full of charge, of dear import, and the neglecting it may do much danger. I will go hence, get me an iron crow, and bring it straight. Now must I to the mortuary alone. Within this 3 hours will fair Juliet wake. She will beshrew me much that Romeo hath had no notice of these accidents, but I will send again to Romeo, and keep her at my cell till Romeo come. Poor living corse, closed in a dead man's tomb.
Dear Juliet, why are Juliet so fair? So I believe that unsubstantial death is amorous, and that the lean, abhorred monster keeps thee here in the dark to be his paramour? For fear of that, I will never again depart from this dim palace of night. Here, I will stay with worms that are thy chambermaids. Here will I set up my everlasting rest. Come, bitter conduct. Come, unsavory guide. What run on the seasick weary dock? First, my love. Oh, true apothecary, thy drugs are quick. Thus, with the kiss, I
St. Francis be my speed. How often I with my old feet stumbled at graves. Who's there?
There's one, a friend, no one that knows you well.
Bliss be upon you. Tell me, good my friend, what torch is yon that vainly lends its light to grubs and eyeless skulls? As I discern, it burneth in this place of death.
It doth so, holy sir, and there's my cousin, one that you love.
Who is it?
Romeo.
How long hath he been there?
Full half an hour.
Go with me to the vault.
I dare not, sir. My cousin knows not that I am come hence, and fearfully did menace me with death if I did stay to look on his intents.
Stay then. I'll go alone. Fear comes upon me. Oh, much I fear some ill and thrifty thing. The lady stirs.
Oh, comfortable reverend. Where's my love? I do remember well where I should be and where I am. Where is my Romeo?
I hear some noise. Lady, come from that nest of death, contagion, and unnatural sleep. A greater power than we can contradict hath thwarted our intents. Come away. Thy love, held in thy bosom, there lies dead. Stay not to question, for the watch is coming. Come, go, good Juliet. I dare no longer stay.
Go, and get thee hence, for I will not obey. Enclosed in my true love's hand hath been his timeless end. O churl, drink all, and left no friendly drop to help me after.
This adventure is so early up that calls our morning person from our morning rest. What fear that startles in our ears!
Sovereign, here lies two children seeking slain. It is Romeo, their dead, and Juliet dead before. Warm and new killed.
Sir, seek and know how this foul murder comes.
Here is a reverend and slaughtered Romeo's friends with instruments upon them fit to open these dead men's tombs.
Bring forth the parties of suspicion.
I am the greatest, able to do least, yet most suspected, as the time and place doth make against me, of this direful murder. And here I stand, both to impeach and purge my self-condemned and my self-excused.
Then say at once, what dost thou know of this?
I will be brief, for my short date of breath is not so long as is a tedious tale. Romeo, their dead, was lover to that Juliet, and she, their dead, that Romeo's faithful love. I, them, counseled this love to essay. Then in piteous death Mercutio and Tybalt lay. Exiled for this deed by you comes young Romeo to me. Calming his distempered head, I base him from hence. Soon thereafter this maid comes to me, and with wild looks bid me devise some mean to rid her of the sorrow and strife, or in my cell there would she kill herself. Then gave I her, so tutored by my art, a sleeping potion, which so took effect as I intended, for it wrought on her the form of death. Meantime I writ to Romeo, that he should hither come as this dire night to help to take her from her borrowed grave, being the time the potion's force should cease. But that which bore my email on the net was stayed by accident, and yesternight returned my email back. Then, all alone, at the prefixed hour of her waking, came I to take her from her kindred's vault, meaning to keep her closely at my cell till I conveniently could send to Romeo. But when I came, some minute ere the time of her awakening, here untimely lay the chamber open, and true Romeo dead. She wakes, and I entreated her come forth and bear this work of heaven with patience, but she, too desperate, would not go with me, but, as it seems, did violence on herself. All this I know, and if aught in this miscarried by my fault, let my old life be sacrificed some hour before his time unto the rigor of severest law.
For never was a story of more woe than this of Juliet and her Romeo. Quoth the Montague family in statement such, but I can give thee more, for I will rate her statue in pure gold, that whilst Verona by the name is known, there shall no figure at such rate be set than this of true and faithful Juliet. To this most generous lay Capulet's response. As rich as Romeo's by his ladies lie, poor sacrifices of our enmity. Bring forth I the solemn and saddened mayor from his home hence this early morn.
A glooming peace this morning with it brings. A sun for shadow will not show his head. Let's have more talk of these sad things. Some shall be pardoned, some shall be punished.
For never was a story of more woe than this of Juliet and her Romeo.